now we covered the other side of this story, but if I may, ladies and gentlemen, James Dore, Jiminy Dore, what are you doing? That's Gal Luft. Gal Luft has just been charged, indicted on multiple counts of FARA violations, lying to federal authorities, and arms trafficking, among other things. Also, the dude was an employee of CEFC for 4 fucking years, and for 20 years, he has been a mouthpiece for the CCP. Better part of at least the last 12. I don't know before that, because the internet isn't that long and he doesn't have that much stuff online. But his think tank in DC that he's been running for years, most of the time, what I'm able to find is him basically defending the CCP and attack. He wrote a book called De-Dollarization. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and by the way, making the case for it, not just, oh dear, right? Okay, I've talked about this guy. So, and I have shared that stuff with you. And so it will probably be equally funny for the two of us, you and I, and anybody else who's on the couch with you, hello, to watch this, watch Jimmy's take on this and see if there's something maybe we missed, because look at the title. He brings receipts. Well, I saw the video he put out. There weren't any in that video, but maybe Jimmy just did some digging. Maybe he went and looked at this stuff. And now, I don't know how long this piece is, so we may bail out beforehand if it turns out to be horseshit. It's 13 minutes. Okay, we should be able to work our way through this. We'll see. Hold on. So this is Jimmy diving into Gal Luft, recently indicted arms trafficker and money launderer. But, you know, because the guy hates Biden and he, I guess, is more horrified. I don't know, whatever. We'll find out. Oops, it's muted.
And the bribery that's going on with the Biden family from foreign governments.
Okay, so they've been on top. Jimmy's been on top of this, I think is what he was saying. Let's back up. Play. There we go.
So we've been reporting on the...
Yeah, totally reporting on it. Like, he's a reporter now. Jimmy's a reporter. That's what he does. That's what this reporting. Jimmy Dore reporting from Curtain Land.
Out and out corruption and the bribery that's going on with the Biden family from...
Yeah, the out and out. It's out and out, and everybody knows it. I mean, it's right out in the open.
From foreign governments.
Yeah, foreign governments. Foreign governments of the worst foreign-y kind.
So now there's a whistleblower. There's a video, a whistleblower.
Okay, he's not a whistleblower. He's an alleged witness to something. You can't blow the whistle unless you're inside the organization and you get whistleblower status because you have to go over your boss's head. Never mind. This is just a fucking, I guess, yeah, whatever.
So whistleblower on the run in Biden corruption case says he's being hunted by the FBI after he exposed payments by Chinese firm to Hunter Biden and his family.
It says father, but I don't know how maybe you spell family differently. Also, yeah, I mean, that's what it says. I think we should just take that as rote. Okay, case closed.
Well, that did happen. He did expose that.
Did he?
And he is on the run, and here he is. So let's listen to him now.
Yeah, let's listen to him now from the New York Post. It's good of you to give credit, Jimmy.
My name is Dr. Gal Luft. For the past 20 years,
arms trafficker, money launderer.
I've been the co-director of the Institute for the Analysis of Global Security.
Yes, which, by the way, a think tank on energy and security that in Jimmy's old life as an ex-TYT or alleged lefty would have immediately been like radar up on this motherfucker for being part of energy and security, because these are the kind of people you consult before you attack Iraq.
Washington-based think tank focused on energy security.
I mean, what more? He's a part of a think tank. They do thinking. They go into a tank and they do some thinking about energy and security. I mean, what could be more?
For the past 15 years,
I don't know what honest to God, I don't know what Jimmy is gesturing at there. I don't know why he thinks you can. Huh?
I've been a resident of Israel, and for 4 years I was.
So Jimmy, is he pro Israeli settlements, or is he open to the plight of the Palestinian people? I mean, just on a political level, he's obviously lived there for 15 years. Does he live in one of the settlements? Does he? If you bothered to look, I'm fucking around.
Was senior advisor to the China energy company CFC.
He was 4 years senior advisor to CEFC, the company that even the whiff of doing business with it makes you a Chinese agent. He worked for them as their senior advisor for 4 years. This has totally just passed him by.
At the same time of its dealings with the Biden family.
So this guy would know if the CVC, that company, that Chinese company.
Yeah, the CC. Yeah, CC is CNC Music Factory. Yes. Yeah. When he was in CNC Music Factory. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's okay. It's just details. Don't feel like you have to get any of the letters or the companies right in your idiot explanation of what we just watched. Why don't you just fucking play it?
When he bribed the Bidens, he
just bribed the Bidens.
No, this guy seems like he would know.
Why? Because he's the kind of person who engaged in a bribe with the son of a former vice president. Also, your argument is that he made the bribe. Okay, the bribe wasn't taken and nothing was gotten in exchange for it. So maybe he's just pissed because he's a shitty briber.
And?
Under normal circumstances, I would be testifying before Congress.
I mean,
about my experience with CFC.
And again, what is with the, huh? Listen to didn't he say the thing?
Sadly, due to circumstances I shall describe here in this video, I am forced to tell you this story via video.
And not under oath, just for the record. And I'm, by the way, not going to swear to any of the things that I'm saying, and say that I will say the exact same things under oath, which would put your mind at ease maybe about some of the things I was saying, but I'm not going to do that.
My ordeal goes back to a fatal decision I made in March of 2019 to share with the U.S.
What? Why? Yes, when Trump was president, March of 2019, when Joe Biden was no longer vice president, and okay,
government, my knowledge about the Biden family's relations with CFC.
Why is Jimmy staring at us?
See, as I said, it was in March of 2019 in a 2-day.
Why didn't you look at us then, Jimmy? Why didn't you gesture on that one? He said the date again.
Day session at the U.S. Embassy in Brussels. I insisted that the meeting take place in March because at the time there were rumors that Joe Biden was planning to run for president. I saw it as my civic duty to alert the government beforehand and
I smell a gesture coming.
Give it enough time to probe the issue. I want to be clear.
Wait, is Jimmy just getting bored with the video now?
I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I have no political motive or agenda. I did it out.
There you go. Huh? He worked for the Chinese government for over a decade. He's not a Democrat or Republican. He's a resident of Israel. He has no political agenda. He did write a book called De-Dollarization, and he has argued on behalf of the communist model and said that democracy is dying and it should. But
of deep concern that if the Bidens were to come to power, the country would be facing the same traumatic Russia collusion scandal, only this time with China. Sadly, because of the DOJ's cover-up, this is exactly what happened.
No, it's not. We're not 2 impeachments in. We were already working. We already had the Mueller report was already in process right about now, and timescale. Never mind.
The DOJ sent to Brussels a delegation of 6 people.
Yes, under Bill Barr and Donald John Trump. Yes, they were searching the world over and thought, I found true love. You met another and you was gone. Of course, Trump had Bill Barr send people to fucking Brussels to meet with anybody who's even remotely said they had dirt on the Bidens. You putz.
2 prosecutors from the Southern District of New York by the names of Daniel Reichenthal and Catherine Ghosh. Mm-hmm. And 4 FBI agents. One of them was Special Agent Joshua Wilson from the Baltimore field office, which also happens to cover the state of Delaware.
Huh? Delaware, Biden, Delaware, Biden, Delaware.
Now you want to ask yourself, why did the government...
The state of Delaware, why is that important, Joe Biden?
Oh, okay, good. Thanks for clarifying that. I was wondering where it was from. I was like, why didn't they send somebody from the Western District of Pennsylvania?
dispatch to Europe so many people?
Because Donald Trump and Bill Barr were looking for ways to keep Donald Trump in office?
Why 6? Why?
I don't know. Why not 5? Why not 9? Why 6? They sent 6 people 3 times to Europe.
Why not 2? The answer is that they knew
Even Jimmy is confused by why that's a point.
very well that I'm a credible witness.
No. Well, no, because they're charging you with lying to those very people.
And that I have insider knowledge about the group and the individuals that enriched the Biden family. Over an intensive 2-day meeting, I shared my information about the Biden family's financial transactions with CFC,
Blah, blah,
including specific dollar figures.
Yeah.
I also provided the name of Rob Walker, who later became known as Hunter Biden's bagman.
No, you called him that. It's one of his business partners.
Yet, as we now know today from the whistleblower testimony, Gary Shapley, it took the DOJ a whole 21 months to probe the issue and to actually talk.
21 months. Took him 21 months. They waited until Joe Biden was actually president. It's interesting. It's almost like Biden isn't worried about them looking into this shit, but Trump was. Weird.
Talk to Walker. But perhaps the most alarming information I revealed was of a mole within the DOJ.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mole, 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 mole.
Who shared classified information with Hunter Biden and his Chinese partners.
So he's saying that there was a mole.
Oh, I see. All right. Yeah, I had dozed off there too for a second. Fill us in, Jimmy. Tell us what he said. So there was a mole. You're saying there was a mole.
Inside the Department of Justice.
Inside well, he said FBI, but okay. And there's a mole inside who's retired, but okay. Doesn't work there anymore, but all right. Yeah, tell us what he was saying, because yeah.
That gave heads up to Hunter and the Bidens about anything that, any information of the investigation or stuff they had to look out for.
Yeah, anything. And as a retired FBI agent who doesn't work there anymore, he was in a special position to know the most intricate workings of the Trump and Barr DOJ.
That's what he's saying. They had inside information of what the FBI knew.
Yeah, but they got it from the outside. So it was like inside-outside information. You know what I mean? It was like...
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
It was inside-outside TNT.
I told the DOJ that Hunter was closely associated with a very senior retired FBI official who had distinct...
Retired. Interesting. You remember that part? Yeah. Do you think Jimmy's regretting the last thing he said, or that just... You think that just went...
physical characteristic. He had one eye. One of the FBI agents at the time even told me, that would be very easy for us to find. There aren't that many one-eyed people in the Bureau.
Yeah. There's probably more outside the Bureau, I would say. Wait, where did that go?
I don't want anything that's good.
Hold
Leave
on.
it outside. It's packed.
There you go.
The information I provided the FBI in March of 2019 was fully corroborated 9 months later when the famous laptop belonging to Hunter Biden.
This is the this is Jimmy's new equivalent of kind of like the Don Jr. guys.
Which contained all the emails and receipts. Was
yeah, the by the way, in case you're just joining us, I started the show off showing you how the entirety of that alleged laptop's contents was fabricated by a multitude of people and copied so many times so as to hide the source of everything that was on it, thereby on the one hand, making all criticisms of it as bullshit completely valid and making it completely void in a court of law. Great job, Rudy Giuliani.
handed to the FBI. And guess who seized the laptop from the computer repair shop. It was Special Agent Joshua Wilson
I love it. Huh? All right.
who was with me in Brussels earlier.
Yes, and one of the reasons why you were charged with lying to people was because what was in that versus what they had later, which is versus the other versions they've gotten versus what you gave them, doesn't line up.
In other words, the FBI knew about, from me, about the Biden CFC deals before they got hold of the laptop, way before. They had enough time to investigate the issue, but they didn't.
No, they investigated you, someone who worked with a company that you said was sketchy as fuck.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's all I need. You guys, let's just pack it up and hit it hard again on Monday. I think we're, total surrender? We should total surrender. I mean, he brought receipts. You can tell because he's reading from something written over here. And Jimmy made several open arm gestures. Therefore...
And now this guy's on the run because he told the truth about...
Oh, is he on the run because he told the truth? Is he on the underground railroad of truth tellers? Why is he actually on the run, Jimmy? Now, understand that he could actually be questioned under oath if he's picked up, even while he's in jail awaiting other charges. Why doesn't he just do that? I mean, okay.
Somebody the establishment needs right now, which is Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's the establishment that wants to do this. The establishment, obviously the corporate establishment, Illuminati, deep state.
So they need Joe Biden to do their proxy war with Ukraine, to saber rattle with China.
To saber rattle with China. That's what they... Yes, because Trump didn't, quote unquote, saber rattle with China. Really, do they need that? Honestly, because we're in the position right now with China where we're almost in the you don't kick them while they're down. That's why Yellen just went over there.
They need Joe Biden to do that. They needed Joe Biden to sell lockdowns and vaccines. They needed that.
Lockdowns. Dude, we were already fucking locked down. Trump was bragging that he got the vaccines. The fuck are you talking about?
So they need him. The establishment doesn't want to hear from this guy.
No.
And it is not for some reason. They don't want to listen to him. They don't want to hear him just because he sells guns to Africa.
And they're certainly not going to investigate Joe Biden's kid.
Huh.
So this guy, his name is Mr. Luft. He's
his name is Mr. Luft. That's right. If you're nasty.
57. He's on the run following his arrest at Cyprus on the...
At Cyprus. In Cyprus. He wasn't... All right, never mind. He's not in an orange grove someplace.
Charges of international arms trafficking and an alleged violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act. That's what they got Trump's campaign manager on.
FARA, but not the international arms trafficking. I would like to say for the record. And well, I'm sorry, Trump's campaign manager? You mean Paul Manafort, the guy who trolled Craigslist for guys to fuck his debilitated wife against her will? That guy? So you're telling me that this guy and Paul Manafort, basically, they're, part and parcel, they're basically the same person. Okay, well then fuck this guy too.
But he did, even though nobody does this, they use this selectively.
Yeah, they only use it on people who are unregistered foreign agents. I don't know why. I think they could broaden it out.
They go after their political enemies with the Foreign Agents Registration Act.
Yeah, but not with the international arms trafficking. That one, that would seem to be even more selective.
He denies those charges, of course he does, calling them retaliatory acts by President Biden for having cooperated in an investigation of his son Hunter.
Yeah, those words are written. See them written? They are written on a thing.
Following his widely publicized arrest, which occurred just before Mr. Luft was to board a regular commercial flight back to Israel, he said in a tweet that the Department of Justice is trying to bury me to protect Jim, which is Joe's brother, and Hunter Biden. Shall I name names?
Those are their names. Yes. Knock yourself the fuck out. They called your bluff on it. And you released a video. And nobody gives a shit. You did name names. Ooh.
In late March, Cyprus police reported that the former Israeli lieutenant colonel and respected energy issues expert had gone missing.
He's missing. He's gone missing. It's terrible. What do you call it when somebody's wanted for international arms trafficking and they go missing and they haven't been pushed out a window by Russians? So it was a word. There was a movie. I'm trying to think, with Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones, and it was presumed guilty. No, it's not it. I'll think of it later.
Mr. Luft suggests that he believes the whole affair to be politically motivated and that the reason he jumped bail at Cyprus in April was that, in his view, he would not be able to receive a fair trial in a New York court where he extradited to the United States.
Were he extradited to oh God.
From wherever Mr. Luft is, he did not hold back, maintaining that the reason he was arrested in Cyprus is that it was part of a plan by the Biden administration to keep him from testifying to the House Oversight Committee about payments said to have been made to members of the president's family by an energy company called CFC.
It is. It's called CFC. Now, I don't know why you guys don't trust what Jimmy is telling you when he clearly has the reasoning, the visual acuity, and the reading comprehension to present you with the most intricate details of some of these very, very difficult to understand stories. This Gordian knot of details. There's so many twisty things in this, and only Jimmy can see you through. And that's why it's important that you know that. What was the name? I'm sorry. What was the name of that company again?
To the House Oversight Committee about payments said to have been made to members of the president's family by an energy company called CFC.
Okay, whichever. Both or neither.
That was run by the communist China.
That was run by the communist China. It was run by the communist China. Jimmy, who worked for the company that was run by the communist China? Who was the senior advisor to that company that was run by the communist China for 4 years? Who was trying to get them on board? Who had a specific goal in mind to broaden Chinese reach throughout the world, through the BRI and through other projects? And who worked there? And whose job was it, apparently, to ensnare politicians? By the way, are you going to bring up the fact that the other person named in the indictment, that he wrote the article on his behalf, who was part of the Trump transition team, are you going to bring that guy up at all? Or that he was doing the exact same thing? He failed with Biden and moved on to trying to do it with Trump and then had to bugger off because he couldn't promise anything?
So do you see how this happened? So they're like, oh, let's just get this guy arrested in Cyprus, one of our...
Yeah, that's how it works. Just get this guy arrested in Cyprus. It's not like the Chinese Communist Party is going to come and protect him, because he does. Obviously, he stopped working for them when the bribe didn't go through, I suppose, or something.
Puppet governments. In March 2019, Mr. Luft met with... He just told you that.
He did. He just met... I don't even know why we're even... Yeah, we got it.
With 4 FBI officials and 2 Department of Justice prosecutors at the American Embassy at Brussels to provide information that CEFC was paying $100,000 a month to Hunter Biden. What's more, they were paying $65,000 to his uncle Jim in exchange for their FBI connections and use of the Biden name to promote China's Belt and Road Initiative around the world.
Right. Use of the Biden name. Yes, we have 2 people with the last name Biden, not Joe, not the former vice president, but his brother and his son. They work with us in this, and we're going to use their name because we're doing a business deal with them. Did the business deal go through? No. Is CEFC part of the overall BRI plan? No. But okay. And also the $100,000 a month and the $65,000 to his uncle Jim, which the idea that he provided information, he said it. But again, I don't know how many months supposedly this deal went on before Rob Walker got paid and allegedly the money got bumped to them, or if they told everybody to go pound sand, because CEFC would not open a U.S. branch, and therefore the Bidens wouldn't do continuing business with them.
So he's getting $100,000 from the Chinese.
From the Chinese?
Oh, not the Chinese.
They're getting $80,000 from the Ukrainians. They're doing pretty good.
Right, but the Ukrainians aren't paying them that. They're shepherding investment money into Burisma. They get paid for that, not the Ukrainian government isn't paying this. The Chinese definitely have tentacles into CEFC, no question.
According to Mr. Luft, the Department of Justice dispatched 6 individuals to meet with him in Belgium. He told you the story.
Yeah, you've written it twice. I don't know why.
He told you the story. At Brussels, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. Blah, blah, blah.
Right. Mr. Luft claimed that everything he told the
Yes, we saw that too, Jimmy. Yes. I don't know why.
American officials was
Maybe, did you play more of the video than you thought you would?
corroborated 9 months later. Yep. In the new video message, Mr. Luft accused the Department of Justice of a cover-up and said that I, who volunteered to inform the U.S. government about a potential security breach. And
by the way, the security breach being that the company that he worked for 4 years was trying to use the Biden name to promote the Belt and Road Initiative that China was working on.
about compromising information about a man vying to be the next president.
Well, again, why is it compromising? I mean, I'm with you. Like, CEFC is definitely related to the Chinese government and the like, and the deal didn't end up going through because they wouldn't open a U.S. subsidiary. We know that from what messages have come forward, whether they're true or not. That's the generalized story so far. So why is that compromising? If you're working for it for 4 years and you're their senior advisor, why are you not compromised then?
Am now being hunted by the very same people who I informed and may have to live on the run for the rest of my life. He added, I warned the government about potential risk to the integrity of the 2020 election. Ask yourself, who is the real criminal in this story?
You are. You work for 4 years for the company that you said that anybody that does business with them is obviously compromised, and you sell arms in Africa, of all places. I'm gonna go there. Yeah. Also, what were you doing in Cyprus? Money laundering, capital of the world, Wilbur Ross, anybody? Nope.
Colin Rugg says Biden corruption whistleblower Gal Luft, who
Gal. Oh, say Gal. He must work for CFC or CNC Music Factory. Was Gal Luft in CNC Music Factory?
recently went into hiding in fear for his life, reveals
Allegedly.
how a mole inside the FBI
Mole.
was tipping off Hunter Biden and his Chinese business partners.
Yeah, but how is a retired FBI agent inside the FBI? All right.
Luft came to the Department of Justice to alert them of potential crimes being committed by the Biden family. However, instead of looking deeper into the matter, the Department of Justice worked to cover up Luft's allegations. Isn't it
funny how both of you just didn't notice that the FBI bowl doesn't work there?
funny how the Department of Justice will search in every crevice for a crime against Trump, but won't look at evidence into the Bidens even if they're slapped in the face with it?
Well, I don't think he alleges that he slapped him in the face with it. I mean, I think they arguably slapped him in the face with the fact that he lied to them. I mean, I think the biggest question is Donald Trump and Bill Barr send 6 people over to Brussels to meet with this guy who allegedly knows all about a bribery scheme, and nobody reported back to Trump and Barr what they found at all. Like, they didn't, Barr didn't know about this. Trump wasn't aware of this part of it. Barr didn't share it with him, or he insisted that these folks go over there and do this. He sent 6 people, not 2, 6 people. And yet nobody told Trump or Barr when they came back, or they did, and there was a reason why they didn't go further with it. Oh, hey, it's Miranda Devine.
Miranda Devine says, here is the letter that Jeffrey Berman, then the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, sent to Gal Luft to set
Gal Luft, that must be his wife.
up the Brussels meeting. Okay. By now, you have certainly seen the video of him claiming the evidence of Biden corruption. According to conservatives, so this is to let you know that that's real. They did have that meeting.
Yeah, we know. During the Trump administration, when Bill Barr was running the DOJ. So did Barr just had a don't ask, don't tell policy? So is he part of the deep state now? Is that what it is? Or Trump just didn't want to hear about it when they came back? He didn't call anybody in. Hey, Rudy Giuliani said you met with Gal Luft.
They did go to Brussels to meet him.
Yeah, we know. That's when he lied to them. That's one of the charges against him, dumb fuck.
And hear what he had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Here's who Gal Luft really is. This is from this Democratic Party hack.
Yeah, he's a Democratic Party hack. What does he know?
He says he's an Israeli professor. Gal Luft was arrested on the Interpol issued warrant.
And Interpol. You know what? Fuck it. Read it however you want.
On suspicion.
Gail. Just keep calling him Gail and call him at Cyprus.
Of weapons trafficking between China and the UAE and Libya between 2015 and 2023.
Why is that funny? Because that's actually what it says. As a matter of fact, if may I? Which you don't actually think. I don't. Hey, look at this. This is from the United States Attorney's Office, Southern District of New York. Press release. U.S. Attorney announces charges against co-director of think tank for acting as an unregistered foreign agent, trafficking in arms, violating U.S. sanctions against Iran, and making false statements to federal agents. This is hilarious, Jimmy. Let's dive in. Because, what's more progressive than shipping Chinese arms into African conflict zones? That's true populist people stuff. Okay. Gal Luft. Gail, who cares? A dual U.S. Israeli citizen allegedly evaded fair registration while working to advance the interests of China in the United States and sought to broker the illicit sales of Chinese manufactured weapons and Iranian oil to China, which he set up a system where they could pretend it was Brazilian, which is just like Israeli oil, except it's waxed everywhere.
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
All right. So Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Matthew G. Olson, the Assistant Attorney General for National Security, and Christy M. Curtis, the Acting Assistant Director in charge of the New York Field Office of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, announced today the unsealing, by the way, because Gal Luft said, why won't they unseal my indictment? Well, they did. Of an 8-count indictment charging Gal Luft with offenses related to willfully failing to register under the Foreign Agent Registration Act, arms trafficking, Iranian sanction violations, and making false statements to federal agents. Luft, a dual U.S. Israeli citizen, was indicted on November 1st, 2022, and arrested on February 17th, 2023, in the Republic of Cyprus, money laundering capital of the world. On the charges in the indictment, Luft subsequently fled after being released on bail while extradition proceedings were pending and remains a fugitive. Can we dive into the actual stuff? Because you know Jimmy thinks that they just wait. Well, let's do what should we do on him? Farah, that's easy. Yeah, get him on the foreign reg. That way, I mean, who can even prove it's not true? And then we'll get him on arms trafficking. Let's just do arms trafficking. Fuck it. And then something involving like Middle East, so certain people like Republicans don't get a little icky about supporting him, because if they're not already on board with the whole China thing, we'll get him for Iranian oil. Iranian oil, oh, it's good. While pretending it's Brazilian south of the border, they don't like that at all. That's good. It's put that on a napkin and send it out. Go have some people arrest him. Fuck it. That's how he thinks shit works. Shall we dive into the actual evidence in the case that was put before a grand jury before the indictment was issued, where they fucking had to send out an Interpol warrant for this dickhead? Okay. As alleged, the defendant engaged in multiple schemes to evade sanctions and laws intended to protect our national security. The FBI is determined to defend our nation by enforcing laws designed to promote transparency of foreign influence within the United States. For years, Luft, a dual U.S. citizen who served as the co-director of a Maryland-based think tank, it's, by the way, why the District of Maryland office came after him, because that's where his fucking think tank is, engaged, along with others, in multiple international criminal schemes. First, Luft conspired with others in an effort to act within the United States to advance the interest of the People's Republic of China. China. As agents of China-based principles without registering as foreign agents as required under U.S. law. As part of the scheme, while serving as the co-director of a Maryland-based nonprofit think tank, Luft agreed to covertly recruit and pay on behalf of his principals based in China a former high-ranking U.S. government official, Individual One, including in 2016 while the former official was an advisor to then President-elect. Wait, who is the President-elect in the end of 2016? There was somebody... end of 2016, they became the president-elect, somewhere around November. And Art Garfunkel, Garth Brooks, Garfield, Taft, that's what it was, to publicly support certain policies with respect to China without Luft or Individual One filing a registration statement as an agent of a foreign principal with the Attorney General of the United States in violation of FARA. Among other things, in the weeks before the 2016 U.S. presidential election, Luft and co-conspirator One, who is a Chinese national and working for a Chinese non-governmental organization affiliated with a Chinese energy company, that would be the CEFC, that would be CEFC, not the CEFC, created a written dialogue between CC1, the co-conspirator, and Individual One, somebody who was in the Trump transition team, in which Luft wrote Individual One's responses and included information that was favorable to China. So they just filled in the blank.
China, we've got people. We don't even have to do interviews anymore. I know the best people. You can know what they're going to say, and you just write it down.
The dialogue was then published in a Chinese daily newspaper online. That's the China Daily, and sent to, among others, individuals in the United States, including a journalist and professors at multiple U.S. universities. The idea is that get it posted in China Daily, and then with the okay of this dude, and then you just send it around. And that promotes the idea, oh yeah, the China, under the Trump administration, they're going to be all in on the BRI, and we're working together, and it's fine. To basically manipulate everybody in these places to think that the new administration was going to be all in on this. And by the way, Trump didn't dissuade them from it at all. When Luft was writing the dialogue, CC1 told Luft that in these articles, we do not want to spill the beans yet, just enough to let people know he, i.e. Individual One, is in the corridor of power to be. Just broad stroke policy consideration that leaves plenty of room for interpretation and imagination to be filled in later.
They're just going to fill it in with imagination.
After the purported conversations were published, Luft told CC1 that certain information favorable to China had been tucked between the lines. Well, what do you know?
Piece of malware called Q-Snatch.
I think so. Shortly after the 2016 election, I don't remember who won that one. Was it John Adams? No, that's not it. Douglas Adams? No. Sam Adams? We'll figure it out. Anyways, CC1 also discussed possible roles Individual One might have in the incoming U.S. administration and discussed Individual One taking a, quote, silent trip to China. Back channel, anybody? Luft responded that we are debating about his role in the new administration. There are all kinds of considerations. We should talk face to face, as there can be a supremely unique opportunity for China. So this guy's working on behalf of the China. I'm just saying. By the way, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. I mean, how many times do I have to be right about this shit, you guys? I mean, honestly. Wait, it gets better, though. Second, Luft conspired with others and attempted to broker illicit arms transaction with, among others, certain Chinese individuals and entities. In his role as a broker or middleman, Luft worked to find both buyers and sellers of certain weapons and other materials without a license to do so as required by U.S. law. In violation of the Arms Export Control Act, among other things, Luft worked to broker a deal for Chinese companies to sell certain weapons to Libya, including anti-tank launchers, grenade launchers, and mortar rounds, which Luft and his associates referred to in coded language as toys. Luft also worked to broker deals for certain weapons to be sold to the United Arab Emirates, including aerial bombs and rockets. But Jimmy, what about the poor people of Yemen and the American proxy, the proxy war in the Yemen and the Yemenis? Right. Luft further worked to broker deals for certain weapons to be sold by a Chinese company to Kenya, including unmanned aerial vehicles and specifically strike UAVs, which Luft acknowledged the U.S. doesn't want to sell, hence the opportunity. Yes, we are not selling Predator drones and unmanned aerial vehicles in African civil war zones for obvious reasons. And Luft's like, fuck that. Cha-ching. Luft also discussed brokering a deal for weapons to Qatar and told CC1 that Israel was not a good fit as the middleman for the deal because it had the, quote, same problem from the Qataris they have with Uncle, as in Uncle Sam. Need a third party, I will activate. In his role as a broker for illicit arms deals, Luft worked on commission basis and traveled to meetings and received and passed on documentation needed to secure the deals. During a voluntary interview with law enforcement in which he was asking questions about his involvement, questions about his involvement in arms trafficking, Luft made multiple false statements, including that he had not sought to engage in or profit from arms deals. You want to talk about receipts, Jimmy? You want to, Luft worked on commission basis and traveled to meetings and received and passed on documentation needed to secure the deals. They have evidence of this. They brought receipts, you dumb son of a bitch. Third, Luft conspired with others and attempted to broker deals for Iranian oil, which he directed an associate to refer to as Brazilian oil in an effort to conceal the activity and evade sanctions. In violation of U.S. sanctions against Iran and the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, in his role as a broker or middleman, Luft solicited buyers and passed on pricing and other information. One offer letter for Iranian oil that Luft received noted that origin of the oil was, quote, Iranian, and it could be presented as UAE origin without Iranian papers. He also assisted in setting up meetings between Iranian representatives and a Chinese energy company for the purpose of discussing oil deals. During a voluntary interview with U.S. law enforcement, this is the one that he said he took, which he was asked about his role brokering deals in Iranian oil, Luft made multiple false statements, including that he had tried to prevent oil deals with Iran and had not been present during meetings with a Chinese energy company and Iranians. And that was a lie, and they knew it. So when they were going to meet this guy, they did their homework. Luft, 57, a dual citizen, U.S.-Israeli citizen, who formerly resided in both Maryland and Israel, is now a fugitive, has been charged with the following offenses. And these are the charges. Here they are. Charge 1, conspiracy to violate FARA, 5 years, maximum term. 2, conspiracy to violate the Arms Export Control Act, 5 years. 3, violation of the Arms Export Control Act relating to Libya, 20 years. Violation of the Export Control Act relating to the United Arab Emirates, 20 years. Violation of the Arms Export Control Act relating to Kenya, 20 years. Making false statements, 5 years. Conspiracy to violate the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, 20 years. Making false statements, 5 years. They have evidence of all those, as I have shown you. Meanwhile, if I may, Jimmy and for some reason thinks that Brian Krasenstein is just pulling this stuff out of his ass, just making it up. Like that's what America does. Just makes this shit up, and then we could just snatch up anybody. Everybody is an Edward Snowflake. Everybody is a Julian Assange, and the U.S. government is a terrorist organization that just goes after. That's what he's been selling this whole fucking time. Meanwhile, doing this to defend an arms trafficker who specifically, besides the fact that he was, never mind the fact that he's Israeli and he's dealing with Iranian oil, which funds their attempts to destroy Israel. It's just kind of on its face, kind of fucked up. But the idea that he's dumping guns in Kenya and once it was helping facilitate them getting basically their version of Predator drones from China because the U.S. will not sell them. When I thought we just gave shit away. I think we just liked everybody just being dead. What held us back?
Okay.
Okay.
Luft is further suspected of conspiracy to commit serious felonies as well as making false statements. Oh boy. He was arrested in February in Cyprus. Luft is alive but living as a fugitive in a secret location, skipping bail in Cyprus. This guy says he told us all that. Ed, meaning the guy in the video I just played you. He told us everything. But now you...
No. He told them that they were going after him for trumped up charges and that he's going to run. But he didn't explain that these are I mean, I guess Ed or Brian Krasenstein actually shortened it up a lot. He didn't dive into it. I did a big breakdown of it. Mine was fuller. I don't know why Jimmy's not showing my tweet. I'm a bit just, maybe I don't have enough clicks.
I've certainly seen the video. He told us everything. So this person's point is that Luft already explained all that in the video. He then calls Brian Krasenstein Ed. That's why he's calling him Ed, as a joke, because Brian and Ed Krasenstein are twin brothers who post the same kind of pro-Democrat bullshit all the time.
Yeah, pro-Democrat bullshit. You know, like the ACA and infrastructure and getting lead pipes out of everything and public education and women's rights. You know, Democrat bullshit.
So there you go. We've been reporting on this. The House Oversight Committee knows about Joe Biden's and Hunter Biden's corruption. Millions of dollars that they got from China.
From China.
And Ukraine.
In exchange for...
And nobody wants to investigate it.
Well, I mean, obviously they did investigate it, and what they found out was that the guy that was selling this shit is actually a criminal himself. And again, these charges, this meeting that he had was during the Trump administration. How powerful is Joe Biden? This is fucking amazing. I'm starting to be afraid of Joe Biden myself. Maybe there's something to this whole Dark Brandon thing.
Why? Just for the same reason that Barack Obama didn't investigate anybody who ordered a torture program.
Yeah, it's exactly right, because he himself liked it. That's why. Hold on one second. Let me where is it? There we go. Hello, bullshit.
Because they all work for the same people.
Yeah, they all work for the same people. Trump didn't. Trump was he was outside the swamp. He didn't work. He just works with the Saudis and their golf tournament and you know, golfs a lot himself, and his daughter and son-in-law walked out with $2 billion. They get paid $25 million a year forever, apparently.
And the people who ordered that torture program, Dick Cheney, Joe Biden.
Did Joe Biden order the torture program? I mean, it probably, they throw it in if you're ordering something. Like, he was just on the call and they were, you know, sandwiches, chips, fries, torture program.
Condoleezza Rice.
Remember when Joe Biden was in the Bush administration? I remember that.
They all work for the establishment.
Oh, it's I see. I didn't realize. It's just the establishment, as in, you know, we establish these truths to be anybody under the Constitution is part of the establishment.
The establishment wanted them to do 9/11, wanted them to do Iraq.
They wanted to, there was a little Freudian slip.
They wanted them to do Libya. They wanted them to crush, they wanted them to privatize Social Security. Do you see what I'm saying? They work for the establishment. So when Barack Obama...
They wanted them to privatize Social Security? Why haven't they? I mean, if both sides want them to do it, and both sides are controlled by the same people who want them to do it, why haven't they done it yet? When either of them has had a majority. A couple of times they've had enough of a majority to make it happen. If the establishment wants them to do it, then why are there holdouts that stop the vote from going through if they even try this shit, even in the Republican side? If it's established, where, all right.
Became president, he worked for the exact same establishment. He got more money from Wall Street than John McCain did. He worked for them. His entire cabinet came from an email from Citigroup. So Barack Obama wasn't going to prosecute the people. They're on the same team. George Bush and Barack Obama were on the same team.
Yeah, they're on the same team. They're on Team America, World Police. And Jimmy wants you to know he is not on America's side in the team, in the great game of Red Rover that we're all playing.
And so that's the exact thing happening here.
Okay, so Trump, so Joe Biden and Trump are on the same side, and so the reason they didn't go after Biden is because the establishment made Trump and Bill Barr leave Biden alone until Biden got in, and then Biden's allowing them to look into it and not stopping them if they want to. Man, the establishment is, I mean, that's some fifth dimensional chess.
They're not going to, the FBI is not going to prosecute Hunter Biden or Joe Biden. They're on the same team. They work for Wall Street. They work for Big Pharma. They work for the military industrial complex.
Good Lord. When do they sleep?
That's that. Those people.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, what more of an explanation do you guys need? Fuck is wrong with you guys? I mean, all right, chat room, what do you guys not get? about big everything. There's big pharma, big tech, big business, Big Ben, big hot dogs. What is what don't you understand? Everybody works for everybody else at the same time, except Jimmy Dore, who is a free agent and can tell you the absolute truth, because he's only beholden to his viewership or something. And believe me, the rest of you sucks are all, just, baited into this. You're weak-minded. It's the Empire's tractor beam. You're not getting out of it. That's how it works. There's no escape for you. And Jimmy, by the way, is by no means audience captured at all, and is just regurgitating the same shit to keep his millionaire Marxist lifestyle afloat. Not at all. My big concern is how big can you get before you're as big as the kidney? It's a concern. It's just, at some point we're going to get too big for the kidney. I think that's what scares me. Sorry, I had to go there.